the topic of when will the census 2021 be published or released in the public has been in news or has been doing round the clock for since a very long period of time, or you can say since the last 3 to 4 years. And now one more update has come on it, that the census 2021 will not be happening till 2024. So let's see this. Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be discussing about the topic that census to be delayed till at least October 2024. It means that the election of 2024 will take place, but the census will not be published till then. About the points of discussion, first about the news, then census, why the delay of census is happening, what are the reasons for it and what impact it will have, about census, and then prelims MCQ. This topic is of relevance from GS paper 1, that is population, and then GS paper 2, that is government policies and interventions. From exam perspective, you should be able to know about census, that what is census. The news talks about, with announcement of new notification, census to be delayed till at least October 2024. It means that till October 2024, that is this October of 2024, we should not be expecting that the result of the census will come out. So, deadline to freeze the administrative boundaries of districts, tehsil, towns and municipal bodies among others has been extended till June 30, 2024, and till when the date is announced, from it around 3 months takes place to actually see that what all people will be involved in this. So plus 3 months, it becomes around October 2024. So till October 2024, census will not be published, and this census is of the year 2021, because the last census which was published was 2011, and the 2011 census or the published data of census is what is being used as of now. So the census exercise initially scheduled to begin in the year 2020 will now be postponed till at least October 2024. So what was supposed to happen in the year 2020 has been postponed, I think more than 6 to 7 times till now, and now till October 2024 the census will not take place. And ruling out of the census exercise before the 2024 general election, and this is the 9th such extension of the deadline. So till now more than 9 times the deadline has been extended. Now about the women reservation delayed. So if the census will be delayed, with census there are few of the other activities which has happened in the recent past that will also be affected, and because the census will be delayed, so those activities will also be delayed, as it is the census which gives us the data of the demography of the country. It means that the population of the country is being described properly within the census. So if the census will not be published, then we will not be able to come up with the you can say the approx details or the approx demography of the country, and the constitution boundaries that should also be set and updated will also happen after the census is released. So the 128th Constitutional Amendment Act of the year 2023, which is also known as the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, which talks about the 1/3 reservation of seats for women in the Lok Sabha and the State Assemblies. Now this will also get delayed because this depends on the census, and if the census is delayed, so the 128th Constitutional Amendment Act will also be delayed. And this shall come into effect after an exercise of the delimitation is undertaken based on the relevant figures of the first census. And now, because it depends on the delimitation exercise, and delimitation exercise depends on the census, so if the census is not happening, the delimitation exercise will not be happening, and because of that the women reservation will not come into effect. So the setting up of the boundaries of the constituency cannot take place until the census is published. Now, COVID caused initial delays. So, what is the reason that the census 2021 is delayed? And the primary reason is because of the COVID pandemic, the COVID-19 or the SARS virus, which spread and became a pandemic and has killed all over the world. So many people, thousands of people have lost their lives. So this was the reason that why the census has not been published. India has conducted the census every 10 years since the year 1881. So it is a decadal exercise, and after every 10 years the census has to be published in India. And the first phase of this decade census was expected to begin on April 2020, but this was also the COVID time, so the starting of the first phase could not take place. So the absence of fresh data, government agencies are still formulating the policies. So the policies which are being formed as of now by the government is on the basis of the 2011 census data, because that is the only official data we have as of now, and the present census data, because it is getting delayed, so we have to depend on a decade old data, and which needs to be updated, which needs to be refreshed, and which needs to be in line with the moving and the present terms. And this also causes a lot of problem in the formulation of policies, and especially when it comes to the implementation of the policies. Now, recent birth death reports not released. So as the census is not released, there are other reports also which have not been released, and that is related to the birth and the death reports. So apart from the census, the office of the Registrar General of India and the Census Commissioner of India has not released two key reports. So two key reports have not been released, and these two reports are on the registration of birth, death and causes of death for the year 2021, 2022 and 2023. So this is also about the COVID years. So the causes of birth and the death in these respective years, the report have not been released. And then the report on vital statistics of India based on the civil registration system for 2020 was released in the year 2022. So 2020 report has been released in the year 2022, and there is one more report, that is report on medical certification of causes of death. So the causes of death report, which was last released for the year 2020. So 2020 report was published or released in the year 2022, and the second 2020 report was recently published. It means that things are delayed and few of the reports has not been published, which talks about the birth and the death rates. Then in a very short, in brief, what is a census? Now what is a census? Is it legally backed? Does we have an act which talks about and tells us that census needs to be conducted after every 10 years? So census is the process of collecting, compiling, analyzing and disseminating demographic data pertaining at a specific time of all persons in a country or a well-defined part of the country. So imagine if this is India. Bear with my drawing. So what will be done with regard to census is that within the boundary of the country, the demographic data, that how many people are there, the male population, the female population, the children population, transgenders population, or the third genders population, disabled population. So all these kind of populations and all the demography of the country will be having official numbers in the census. And first of all, it will be collected, that different officials and many thousands of officials work on the collecting of the data within the country, and then that data is compiled, then it is analyzed, and then the disseminating of the data takes place, and it is a very lengthy and a very tiring process, because India, as we all know, that is the largest democracy, and we are a country of 1.4 billion people. So the census is conducted by the Office of the Registrar General and Census Commissioner, Ministry of Home Affairs. So it comes under the Ministry of Home Affairs. So ministry you need to remember. Conducted by the Office of Registrar General, Census Commissioner, Ministry of Home Affairs. Then the first synchronous census was taken under British rule in the year 1881. So this was the first synchronized census, and the unsynchronized census took place in the year 1872. 1881 is the synchronized census. Then the Census of India Act of 1948. So after independence, an act was formed with regard to the Census of India Act, and this act tells that the legal framework for carrying out the census is given, and it has the backing of this act. So legally, census needs to be conducted after every 10 years. Now in the end, a prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. This is a PYQ of the year 2009. Consider the following statements. There are two statements given and you have to talk about the correct statement. Statement 1. Between census 1951 and census 2001, the density of the population of India has increased more than 3 times. More than 3 times. Second, between census 1951 and census 2001, the annual growth rate of the population of India has doubled. So it is actually talking with respect to the analysis of what you have read. And the codes are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So give me the answer in the comment section. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.